This week I saw this tweet. Check it out. This, I take it, is meant to be a pitch for this behemoth of a boat, although touting it as A, larger and B, heavier than the Titanic is questionable marketing. Intrigued though by the icon of the seas, I went digging for more information on it, which there is a lot of. Built in Finland, the icon of the seas is nearly 1,200 feet long and weighs more than 250,000 tons, and it's meant to float and go into the open ocean. There's an amazing website dedicated to the boat, which has not only the largest pool ever put on a cruise, but also the first open freefall water slide. Whatever that is. But wait, there's more. This comes from CNN, and I quote, "The ship promises more than 40 ways to dine, drink, and be entertained, many of which are included in the cruise fare. With 20 decks and 8 neighborhoods to explore, the idea is to cater to every type of vacationer, with everything from areas dedicated to young families to adults-only spaces such as Royal Caribbean International's first dueling pianos bar. There are 28 different types of accommodations, with more categories for families, more layouts with ocean views, and more space for group travelers. The cruise line says it's the longest time frame it's ever dedicated to, quote, designing the perfect home base." The perfect home base! It's a ship. 40 ways to dine, drink, and be entertained. That's 39 more than I need. This all in a word sounds terrible. Or in 2 words, absolutely terrible. I would never set foot on that boat or anything even close to that large. So I was opining on what a floating nightmare this all seems on Twitter when someone asked me to explain and defend my long-held bias against cruises. I've never been on one and will never willingly go on one. So I thought about it, and I think my objections fall into 4 broad categories. Let me go through them. Category 1, other people. Go back and read the stats in the Icon of the Seas. It holds 5,600 passengers and another 2,350 crew members. Doing a bit of back-of-the-envelope math, that's almost 8,000 people milling around in a relatively confined space. I don't like being around 80 other people, or even if I'm being honest, 8 other people when I'm on vacation. The idea of being surrounded by more people than lived in the town I grew up in? No way. Number 2, rogue waves. You're familiar with these things, right? Massive waves that appear out of nowhere in the open ocean. Here's how the National Oceanic and Atmospheric Administration, NOAA, describes them, and brace yourself because it's terrifying. Rogues, called extreme storm waves by scientists, are those waves which are greater than twice the size of the surrounding waves, are very unpredictable, and often come unexpectedly from directions other than prevailing wind and waves. Goes on to say this: most reports of extreme storm waves say they look like walls of water. They're often steep-sided with unusually deep troughs. These things happen. It happens in the ocean. Not frequently, but enough, because once is enough. Plus, anything that goes by the nickname killer wave is something I am not interested in being associated with. Number 3, neurovirus. So far in 2023, there have already been 13 outbreaks of neurovirus on cruise ships. It's a legitimate surge. What is neurovirus, you ask? It's a, quote, highly infectious virus that causes inflammation in the stomach and intestines, a condition called acute gastroenteritis, according to CNN. Look, you poop, you barf. Sometimes you poop and barf at the same time. It is unpleasant. And then there's this. You get neurovirus from ingesting microparticles of feces or vomit, other people's feces or vomit. Number 4, other people. Yes, it's important enough that I mentioned it twice. You're trapped on a boat with 8,000 other people. Yes, it is a big boat, but it is still a freaking boat that you cannot get off of. Look, I realize I'm in the minority here. I know people, normal people, people I like, who go on cruises, or even like every year. They seem to love it. They eat, they drink, they are married. They would probably love the first open free fall water slide. And cruises are not only for people with kids and older folks anymore either, apparently. Gen Z and millennials are getting into the act, according to this CBS News report that I want to quote from. Cruises, often the vacation style of choice for families in older generations, have started to appeal to an unlikely cohort, millennials and Generation Z, who see cruising as good value for their money. Cruise lines are taking note and updating their offerings to capture this interest from younger consumers who prize experiences like travel, so long as they can do it their way and not their parents. Which, look, fine, to each your own, or whatever. But again, you will never catch me on a cruise. Not one time. Give me a nice empty beach and some ocean waves. Every damn time.